Hi, and welcome to the May edition of Rowlett on the Water on the Move. I'm Todd Gottell.
I'm Linda Umble.
This show is produced entirely by city staff and can be seen on Rowlett's own television network, RTN 16. Rowlett on the Move can be seen all day long on RTN 16. You know, Linda, you can also find us by going to the YouTube channel at Rowlett Texas Video.
I tell you.
Or our streaming page by going to rowlett.com.
There you go.
We have got a long show today. We have a lot to talk about.
We sure do. We have some exciting things going on here in Rowlett.
Well, let's get started. I understand you're going to start with economic development.
You know, that is so true. We adopted Realize Rowlett Phase 2 on November 6th.
That's right.
And there has been a lot of activity as a result. And it is amazing the great things that are in the works all over the city.
Well, with any type of economic development, a lot of times people want instant gratification. They think, all right, you passed the plan, where's the development? But the development process takes a long time.
Yes, it does.
It really is a journey in the sense that just because I have a plan that day, there's a lot of steps that go into the purchase process. And one of them, of course, is trying to negotiate with the landowners. And some of the landowners are very, very proud of the property they have and make it difficult for any developer to come in and be able to do some level of business there.
Well, that's true, but we are very blessed that since we have adopted the form-based code process as a part of Realize Rowlett in November, we've got a number of developers that stepped up and have been working with staff. We're very excited, and let's talk about Woodside Living to kick things off this morning. Bill Giedema, who is the owner and developer of Woodside Living, he's with Arcadia Realty, recently submitted plans seeking a permit for construction.
That's fantastic. And that is a short time. If you really think about it, I know he's been anticipating this for some time, and he's put a lot of time and effort into hoping everything will go the way he wants to go, but I'm really looking forward to this development.
Oh, you bet. Well, just to give folks at home an idea of where Woodside Living is located, it's generally located north of Liberty Grove, just west of Phase 2 of the Waterview subdivision. It's located on approximately 195 acres, and it's anticipated that it'll have 620 lots. The neighborhood is going to be known as the Homestead at Liberty Grove, and it's our first official neighborhood project to be formally submitted to the city since the adoption of form-based codes.
Well, that is a big, big deal.
Yes,
One of the things that we talked about in council was really about getting somebody to step up and do the form-based codes. There were a lot of folks, just being very candid with the viewers, that really didn't believe in Rowlett, and they said it is what it is. We have these tract type developments, and we came back as a council and said we've got a very limited amount of land left. And it really was a journey that our citizens took us on with the consultants that we had, who did a fantastic job to say we can dream a lot bigger than what we have. And so Bill and his team has really stepped up, and they've done a terrific job. Well,
that is so true, and their development well exceeds the base standards in our form-based code and is aligned with the original vision for Woodside Living, as noted in our comprehensive plan, which we call Realize Rowlett 2020 Phase 1. But the really exciting thing, Mayor, is the Homestead at Liberty Grove will be a $200 million multi-phase private investment, which will generate in excess of $1.5 million in annual tax revenue to the city when built out in 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Isn't that amazing?
And we were really focused on sustainability,
yes,
and this type of development is really going to be one that's sustainable. And so I am extraordinarily excited about this.
Well, it is a great opportunity. Not only will the construction and the development of this neighborhood add to our tax base, it's going to create a significant number of indirect construction jobs, and it will do what I think is the most important thing, and that's provide diversification of housing options for the citizens of Rowlett.
And that's something that they need. We talked about this, you know, through the entire process of Realize Rowlett 2020. The entire process, everybody said, I don't want the traditional house with the lot. Yes. We're looking for something different. We've got a lot of folks that are seniors. We've got folks that are where they're empty nesters, and they're going, I need to downsize, and I'm looking for something different, but I like my church, I like my shopping, I like my family, I like all those things that keep me here in the city. But yet we don't have the housing diversification to do that. And this is really our first step to be able to do that.
That is exactly right. And I don't know that viewers at home recognize that currently Rowlett has over 85% of its residential housing units on the tax rolls valued at less than $200,000.
And I was shocked to hear that number, because when we went through the process. We talked about our taxes, you know, my money, my choice, and we said the average home price is what, about $135,000, $140,000. And you said, you know, you have all those homes less than $200,000. I was shocked. What was it, about 1,900 homes above $200,000?
That's exactly right.
I'm like, I thought we had a lot more than that. I guess it just seems like it, but it's not.
That's true. But the great thing about the homestead at Liberty Grove is the average base value of the residential units will be $330,000. And homes will range in value between $225,000 up to $468,000 over the course of the multi-phases. And we are also excited as a part of this to be able to step up to the plate as a community and partner with this development. And we knew this going in to Realize Rowlett 2020, that there would be a need for the city to partner with the first couple of developments that came in, if you will, to raise the market. And the City Council evaluated the investment of the homesteads at Liberty Grove, and it was determined that this was really, I'm going to say, a no-brainer. And let's talk about why that is. We know that the development costs associated with Phase 1, 2, and 3 are projected to be about $21 million. And approximately $11.8 million of those investments are improvements in the form of water, sewer, streets, electric, gas, street lights, and public open space amenities.
Can we stop there for just a second? Okay. I really want to talk about this because I've heard this from a lot of citizens, and they'll say, well, every development needs streetlights. Every development needs roads. Well, it's a lot more than that. Because, because when you look at the plan, and that's one of the things, you know, as we went through this, I'm a huge believer in if you build it, they will come. And at some point, you have to have faith in those folks that say that they really know what they're doing. And this development, and just having seen a little glimpse of what it is in another city, I think has the potential to really change the face of the way that we do our development in Rowlett. The roads, as an example, are not just a straight road with a bunch of mailboxes all the way down where you have them every so many feet and it's this grid pattern. It's a lot more than that. It was really interesting as the roads curve around. They all hit these very appealing architectural points like parks and fountains and things like that. But there's a cost to that type of development. The width of the road, the way that they're designed with the wider alleys and those types of things really make it an appealing neighborhood. And
single-loaded streets. And what is meant by that is development only occurs on one side of the street so that the other side of the street can take advantage of open space. And approximately 21% of this neighborhood is open space.
And that's why the development costs more. And you know, we talked about some of the amenities and stuff like that we'll talk about later, but it really is going to be something that once you put it on the ground, I think even those that are non-believers, in other words, they don't understand what's being built, I think they're going to come back and go, wow, this is incredible.
That's true. So let's talk about the partnership, if you will, that the City of Rowlett entered into with the developer. The City of Rowlett imposes impact fees, which are governed by the Texas Local Government Code. And impact fees are defined as, and I'm gonna give you the bureaucratic answer here because I want folks to really understand. Impact fees are defined as a charge or an assessment imposed by a political subdivision against new development in order to generate revenue for funding or recouping the cost of capital improvements or facility expansions necessitated by and attributed to the new development. And the way our impact fees work, Mayor, is when they're generated in a specific area, you got to reinvest those fees in that area. And so council asked staff to look at the impact fees being waived and see if there were going to be any impact to our system as a result of this development. So we evaluated our water system, and there's currently a 24-inch water line directly adjacent to the proposed development that's sufficient to accommodate this project. The project will use up a portion of the existing capacity, but existing facilities are sufficient to accommodate this project without the present need for the construction of new facilities. We looked at the wastewater impact, and the system, or the city rather, has improvements that have been planned and funded for both the west side and east side lift stations. So these improvements will be made regardless of whether this future development occurs or not. So we looked at roadway impact. And we know that Liberty Grove, Cheesa Road, and Princeton Road are all impacted by this development. And there's no doubt that the current and recent history shows that segments of Liberty Grove Road have exceeded a reasonable level of service volumes prior to the consideration of this development. You know that. You use that road every morning. And so we believe that the proposed development will not materially change the current outcome of the problems that exist today on Liberty Grove. And therefore, the cost associated with the Liberty Grove Road can't be directly related to this development, nor can it substantially be mitigated by using the impact fees for this project.
So can I put it in plain English for
You
the
sure
average
can.
person? It doesn't have an impact on the area.
There you go.
And that's really the bottom line.
That's right.
When we look at these projects, we say, what type of impact is this development going to have on that particular area? And the bottom line is this one does not have an impact. And we decided to go back and
That's
say,
right.
let's put some seed money up to help that developer to get that project that we have worked on for 2.5 years to get that type of developer in to our community to show people that this type of development can succeed. And we're extraordinarily excited about this.
That is correct. So there is existing capacity, and they're just using the capacity.
That's exactly right.
In essence, the city of Rowlett participated in an incentive agreement for phases 1, 2, and 3, and we waived approximately $2.5 million in impact fees. All remaining residential lots in phase 4 and beyond will be required to pay the impact fees. Now, let's talk about how the incentive operates, because I think this is the part that really made a difference for you and others on the council, and that is this is a pay-for-performance type agreement.
Well, it absolutely is, and that's critical. The bottom line at the end of the day is this is not Todd the taxpayer writing that check out and saying here's X number of dollars per house. This is the builder saying that, this is what really got me, what really helped me make the decision that I made, is at the end of the day, the council creates the impact fees.
That's right.
We create them and we approve them. Staff makes recommendations and then of course we approve them. The bottom line is this is money to a certain extent that's found money. And we said, look, at the end of the day, we believe that this development is not going to have any impact on the development or on the community and the surrounding area. And we're going to invest those dollars. In other words, instead of taking them, we're going to allow the builder to use those dollars to invest them into the neighborhood.
Yes, and the way impact fees are actually paid to the city, they're paid at the time a building permit is issued.
That's right.
So that means that Arcadia has to come in and actually build the infrastructure. The subdivision, or in this case the neighborhood, has to be accepted before building permits can actually be issued. So Arcadia receives no incentive unless they deliver the proposed product. So from the standpoint of risk, this request was considered to be low risk with a high return on investment for the city, because we granted the $2.5 million incentive to set the bar, as you said, on the first project under the form-based code. The return on investment is less than 5 years for each of the 3 phases, and in some cases less. And again, the developer doesn't receive the incentive unless he performs. So bottom line is he has to build the new neighborhood. The builder has to come in and pull a building permit, and at that time they reimburse the developer directly for the impact fees. So the citizens will absolutely see what product's on the ground and know that product is real, that project is real, before the developer ever receives a dime.
Well, and it is pay for performance.
That's
just
right.
like you said, if it doesn't sell, at the end of the day,
we're not out money. That's right.
That's exactly right.
So, in summary, it's a great project. As you've said, this will assist the city in diversifying its housing products and will hopefully assist in achieving financial sustainability by helping shore up existing property values.
Well, and Linda, this type of development or this type of an incentive is not something that is untraditional.
Nope.
Every city out there uses money to help bring in the type of development projects that they're looking for in one way or another. A lot of these, in some cases, it's tens of millions of dollars they use in different types of funding to be able to lure developers in to say, I want this here. As you're aware, I graduated from the Leadership North Texas class, the second class that they had, and one of the things that stands out in that class is if you build it, they will come. Quality
right.
development gives you a quality return. And that's really the bottom line.
Well, it is, and it's not being funded by taxpayers. It's not being funded out of tax dollars. It is, again, impact fees generated by this development, by the builders, being reinvested in this development. Low risk, pay for performance, really an ideal way to do incentives.
Well, and that's really with the entire plan for Realize Rowlett 2020. It's how can we get something different into this community that's going to have a significant impact on not just our city, but the residents that live here for a long-term basis.
That's right. So as a part of Realize Rowlett 2020 Phase 2 that was adopted in November, there were 4 parts.
That's right.
First one was Woodside Living. We just got an update on that. So let's move to Healthy Living, which is the area that as you cross into Rockwall, across what we call the 2-mile bridge on the east side of Rowlett. That area is really centered around taking advantage of Lake Point Hospital and the economic generator that it is for this community. And Pillar Investments purchased property that abuts Scenic Point Park that overlooks Lake Ray Hubbard. And we've talked about Scenic Point Park here on this show numerous times. And that really is on the north side of the bridge, right there on the edge of the lake. Well, Pillar Development has been working with staff to design the first urban-style apartments under our form-based code. And Mayor, we've talked about urban-style apartments and the fact that this is a lifestyle choice.
Well, and I've heard again and again and again from the hospital, we need this type of development for the workers at the hospital. They call them pink-collar workers.
That's exactly right.
I know you'll talk about that, but they need this type of development. And you know, when it's very discouraging when you hear the term apartments. People think about, you know, some low-end, low-rent type of place. These are so far from that, it's not funny. These are upscale, high-income earners that just don't want the upkeep that goes along with having a home.
That's right. And you know, that is so important because there are a number of young professionals that happen to work here in the city of Rowlett, and they can't live here because that's the lifestyle that they're looking for, because they'd rather be having fun and not home mowing the yard and taking care of their property. And when something breaks, they need somebody to call, and they can't live here.
Well, and even before we started the Realize Rowlett 2020 process, before we started on that journey, the hospital would come to us and say, look, here's what we need. This is the type of workers that we have. We've spent an enormous amount of money to have a regional facility here. This really is the hub for the entire region for our area. And these are the types of workers. We have pink-collar workers. Now, what's a pink-collar worker if you don't know?
Well, it's nurses, it's interns, and it's doctors. So really, it's the medical profession.
That's right.
They work long hours. Again, when they are not working, they want to be able to have fun. They want to be able to debrief and enjoy life, and so they're looking for something different. And the Pillar Investments have indicated to staff that they're extremely pleased with the market study that they recently completed regarding rent levels per square foot. Unfortunately, we're not able to publicize that information at this time, but I can assure you it is very strong for this market, which just underscores that Lake Point Hospital has been telling us the truth all this time, is that there's a real need, and it's something that will, I think, be a great asset to the hospital. They are planning a significant expansion in the next several years, a multi-story office tower. They're going to be adding some significant doctors to their staff. Staff was recently invited to participate in a planning meeting. Lake Point Hospital wants to take full advantage of the opportunities available through Healthy Living, and we're so excited about that partnership, so excited about Pillar. We're going to be visiting with the City Council on Scenic Point Park. We're in the design phases of the first phase of Scenic Point Park, the Wellness Preserve, and we hope in May or June to be able to bring those plans back to Council so that we can be out for bid this summer on Scenic Point Park. So we'll have some urban apartments. Lake Point Hospital is expanding, and we're going to be investing in Scenic Point Park. A lot happening in Healthy Living already since November.
And even that, just on a side note, even that development that will butt right up to that community where we've had some vacant lots for a long time. I know there's a developer, I guess, went bankrupt and someone bought the lots. I drove through those homes in that neighborhood, and they're all 500,000 plus, and literally it looks like they're building them as fast as they can, and they're sold.
Yes.
And they're absolutely amazing properties. So I can just imagine, and you know, I'd love to have a chance to chat with those folks that bought those, but I guarantee they're probably affiliated with the hospital in one way or another.
Well, exciting times for sure in Healthy Living. So we've given you an update on Woodside Living.
Okay.
We're giving you an update on Healthy Living.
Now what's next? We got Woodside, we got Healthy, and then we have downtown.
There you go. Well, we've talked on this program before that we're fortunate to be a recipient of a $2.5 million grant through the North Central Council of Governments for public improvements downtown. which include the extension of Martin Drive to Main Street. So you're literally going to be able to drive from Main Street to Highway 66.
Now what happens today? Today I go over Martin Drive and it drops me on Coyle.
That's right.
And it dead ends right there.
That's exactly right.
So now what you're telling me is we're going to be able to go directly down to Main Street.
That's right. We're going to make a connection between Coyle and Main Street. And in addition, it's going to include a lot of landscaping and improvements to our public space. And really, Mayor, that's so critical because as we showcase downtown and we begin to prepare the footprint of the vision that the community has for itself, that $2.5 million investment, we're going to be able to point and say, this is what it looks like. So it's not going to be pretty pictures in a book. It's going to be actually infrastructure on the ground so that our development community that we're out there educating on what a great opportunity Rowlett will be able to see we've put our money where our mouth is.
Well, and it really is the first step in really making that downtown. You know, years ago, a lot of money was spent to rehab downtown. This is really taking it to the next step. This is our first step from this council side to be able to leave its mark, and that grant is real. I mean, that's free money at the end of the day.
It sure is.
And it's going to make a significant difference.
Well, in order to prepare for that area, the property across the street from City Hall between Main Street and Coyle is going to have to come down. So that means we're going to be tearing down the Rowlett Historical Society building and the Farmers Market in preparation for this development. You and I recently met with the Rowlett Historical Society, and they're moving to the Coyle House. Which is
really exciting. I'll tell you, if I can just pause there. It was really nice to have an opportunity to see those folks. They have made a significant investment in our community. A lot of these folks have been there a long time, and they really believe in protecting the history of this city. And the passion in that room is absolutely amazing.
They were so excited.
Yeah, they were. And when we told them about the Coyle House, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Strady, of course, it's Mrs. Strady's birth home, and they provided a handsome donation to be able to help rehab that house after it was moved off of the turnpike. And we kept thinking, what do we do with this property? What do we do with the property? And to be able to have that money from their donation plus a donation from the Historical Society allowed us to essentially finish the house, at least phase one of it, and is going to allow them to use that property to hold their meetings.
Buildings will come down across the street. That's the Farmers Market, the Rowlett Historical Society, and the Old Gin Office. And construction is anticipated to begin in late July, early August. And we anticipate that there'll be several multi-story buildings to be constructed around a plaza. So, Mayor, let's vision here just a minute. Envision, that's it, envision a plaza surrounded, I do, surrounded by some buildings where several restaurants would be located with outdoor seating. Envision music on a Friday and Saturday night. Tom and Suzanne Fulton, who are Rowlett residents, have purchased a building just north of this area on Coyle and are currently renovating the building for a community theater. So just think, you could come downtown on a Friday, Saturday night, have dinner and walk across the street and see some phenomenal local community theater.
Well, and the group is called Actor. I'd like to give it a little bit of a plug here because Tom and Susan Fulton have done a terrific job in really, in really bringing theater to our community. It is a wonderful event. If you hadn't had an opportunity to attend one of those, it is just, they're local folks, including one of the council members. We have a former city secretary that's on there, former council members, and they participate in local community theater. And
they have a great time.
They do a really nice time.
They do.
But the one thing that they lack is is space, and they have a difficult time sometimes because they have such an overwhelming response. They don't have enough seats. So this facility will really give them the ability to bring their show to a much larger level. And we're really excited. And downtown, which I really like.
You bet. And we also have plans to conduct a request for qualifications process for development downtown this summer on city-owned property. Just let me give you a quick update on what that process will look like. We took what we're calling the RFQ committee to council the first part of May for appointments, and it's going to include a representative from the City Council, the Planning and Zoning Commission, our Economic Development Corporation, our Park Development Corporation is going to have folks from the Chamber, our Downtown Rowlett, and citizens that have a general interest. And really what we're interested in doing is taking our message to a group of developers, and we're in the process of vetting that developers, to 10 or 15 across the country that are doing exactly what we're looking for. Because we appreciate that the first development downtown,
Right,
much like Woodside Living, is going to set the tone for downtown. And because we have already a community vision, we have adopted zoning, i.e. in the form of form-based codes downtown. We have property. We have a municipal management district. We've made $2.5 million in public improvements. We believe when we go out and sit down with these developers that they're going to be extremely impressed with the level of commitment that this community has made to its vision. And we want to make sure, as a part of the RFQ process, the request for proposal process that we're going to do in the fall, that we have really top-notch, first-class developers that have been introduced to who we are, what we are looking for, and what our goals are for the future, in hopes that we could have some memorandums of understandings executed in the early part of 2014. Now, what that means is that the work just then starts on designing and going through the development agreements, and it'll be a couple of years before construction actually occurs. But it's very important that if we commit the city's resources, the citizens' resources, if you will, that we need to get it right, because we have started Realize Rowlett 2020 with the expressed purpose of ensuring that we get it right.
That's
We've
exactly
waited
right.
45 years for PGBT, we waited 30 years for DART, and the only right answer is it's worth the wait.
Well, and let me just say this. You know, when we had the discussion around form-based codes, we had a lot of individuals that came up and said, we're against this. It's too controlling. The standards are too high. This is not our city. We had even some developers come to us and said, "I'll never build in Rowlett if you do that." And it was a risk that we took. We felt, just based on the consultants, based on feedback that we had gotten from other local architects that lived in this community, that said, if you do this, they will come. And what was the end result? Between DART and the Turnpike coming along, we have land available, and now we have form-based codes. All of a sudden, as soon as we approve the form-based codes, all of these new developers have come out and said, thank you, we just wanted to make sure that you guys were serious about this before we come to build that type of product in Rowlett.
So it's a very exciting time in downtown.
That's
so it's amazing since November 6th, the amount of activity that we've seen in Woodside Living, Healthy Living, and downtown. You know, there are other economic development opportunities going on. And unfortunately, when we get in this kind of area, we can't always talk about it. But I can say that there's 2 name brand retailers, 1 recreational opportunity, and a prospect for hotel, just to name a few that are looking at us, all of which the community, I think, would be extremely delighted to know that has put Rowlett on the map. So we're working through that, hopefully in the months to come. Some of that will come to fruition. The Huffines group is got property up on the North Shore, up on the Turnpike. They are currently zoned for a garden-style apartment. Are so impressed with our form-based code process that they too have agreed to consider upgrading their property to an urban-style apartment. They're working with staff. So we've got 1 more new neighborhood in the North Shore area that hopefully will go to planning and zoning in the next couple of weeks. And so it's extraordinarily exciting.
And let me add this as it relates to economic development, because this is something else I've heard in the community a lot. Well, we didn't get this certain type of retailer that came in, and the council can't even get that. So why are we approving this other type of development? Well, what is economic development? At the end of the day, I've heard for many, many years in the city about economic development, and we're hanging our hat on the future of economic development. Well, 85% of Rowlett is built out already.
That's right.
So we have a relatively small amount of land left, and we made one very strong commitment to the citizens, and that was to be good stewards of the land that we have left. And I personally will not approve a project where we are literally giving away 20 plus years of property taxes and sales taxes where the citizens will not get a return on their investment in this community. That is not economic development. And I've been very clear about that. And when you'll hear from one individual that may come along and say, well, they didn't get this type of development. That was my favorite store. Well, at the end of the day, it's not economic development.
If you have to give it away.
And if they're not bringing in high-paying jobs.
That's right.
I respect any retailer that comes in this community, but it's got to be a win-win for everybody. It's got to be a win for the citizens. It's got to be a win for them because they've got to be able to make money here, but it also has to be able to have a win for the city where we have an opportunity to also benefit from that as well.
That's true. And one of the things that I think is so critical, and really it's saying what you've just said a different way, a community that is going to see lasting financial and environmental sustainability has to have the internal fortitude to say no. And what you've just said is it's not every deal that approaches us as economic development. If you have to give away all of the benefits related to that project to get them, it's not economic development.
That's right.
And so when you're 85% built out, you have to make sure that it is the highest and best use and it adds value. And so to your point, council has recently said no to a major retailer. They did go to a neighboring city, but they wanted a 15-year, 100% waiver of property tax, both real and personal property tax, and a 10-year waiver of sales tax. And what benefit is that to us?
And honestly, in 15 years, I'd be surprised if they would be here.
That's exactly right.
You know,
So,
and then we're stuck with one of the best pieces of property in all of Rowlett, and we're not getting a penny for it.
that's right. So at the end of the day, sometimes the right answer is no.
That's exactly right.
You bet.
Well, let's talk about other investments, because
Okay.
really, at the end of the day, it takes an investment to keep, to keep our city going.
You bet it does.
And one of the things that we always talked about is, I don't want to kick the can forward personally, and I've told a lot of people this. And it's just like our sewer and water system. We said we need to step up and start making the appropriate investments in order to make our city sustainable. And really, so let's talk about our IT purchase that we just recently made.
Well, IT stands for Information Technology, and that is the city's information network. It's the servers, it's the internet connectivity, it's our telephone system, and a lot of other technical issues that are required in today's society where everything is about electronic means of communication.
But why is a phone system important, Linda?
Well, we have to talk to our customers, Mayor.
Well, probably 90+%, 95, 98% of them we talk to on the phone. We actually don't see face to face.
We spend a lot of time talking to our
do.
customer on the phone.
Right.
So recently we brought forward a technology plan, and we discussed it at length at the April 2nd council meeting. And it will cost us approximately $2.5 million over the next 5 years. As I indicated, it includes rebuilding the city's network, replacing servers, improving internet connectivity, upgrading our telephony, and addressing a number of other technological issues.
So this is not just buying a handset for a desk?
No, sir.
Oh, okay.
It is not.
I know that. I'm kind of kidding, because I'm getting feedback from some folks that go, well, you can go to Walmart and buy a telephone. And I'm like, no, folks, it is a lot more than that. And it's being able to connect all of these buildings together to give ourselves the type of network that we need to do operations on a daily basis.
You bet. And really, the city's information technology has reached and/or is nearing the end of its useful life. And truly, in some aspects, we've gone well beyond its useful life. We hired a gentleman by the name of Chip Collins back in back in August, to put together a plan of action to address our aging IT infrastructure. And since the fall, we've had several incidents with our network where we've had failure, and we've actually had a complete failure of our telephone system that prevented staff and our customers from contacting each other for about 3 days. And there were times where we were literally having to use an iPhone in dispatch to be able to perform some 911 functions. It is not the way you want to run a city on a long-term basis.
Well, and if you were to talk to citizens in the community, they say, I expect more than that. When I call that number, and I'm not going to call it all the time, only when I absolutely positively have to call it, it better work.
You bet it better. And so we know it's not a matter of if it fails, it's a matter of when it fails. And we could experience a catastrophic failure that would prevent us from bringing our systems back up. And that's not the time to go in and decide to buy new and install. And since communication with our customer is considered a mission critical function, given the life safety services provided by the city, it's essential that we move with a sense of urgency. Again, complete system failure is not an option. And so we normally don't have to move with this sense of urgency, but bottom line is we know we have a problem, we know we've got to move, and we've done so very diligently. The plan as presented to the City Council is based on quoted or estimated pricing. Where possible, relies on pricing provided by the Texas Department of Information Resources. And the Texas Department of Information Resources was created in 1989 as a part of the Information Resources Management Act, and it provides a streamlined cooperative purchasing program for state and local governments, public education, and other public entities in Texas, as well as public entities outside of the state.
And I think that's critical.
You bet.
That it's a cooperative purchasing program. So this is an opportunity for cities to come in and buy at negotiated pricing, so we don't have to be necessarily experts in specific areas to be able to get good pricing.
Yes, and that really is important because we get to leverage our buying power with others so that there's true buying power.
Right.
And the Department of Information Resources currently offers more than 650 cooperative purchasing contracts for technology products, including hardware, software, maintenance, and other services with a high customer demand, such as managed services and technology training. And again, by participating with this program, we're able to leverage the state's purchasing power to negotiate competitive discounts with their vendors, thus saving taxpayers money. And I really liked this particular statistic. In fiscal year 2011, the Department of Information Resources reached over $1.5 billion in technology customer purchases. How's that for buying power? And it translated into more than $270 million in savings for taxpayers. $56 million of that was with local governments across Texas alone. So I think we can be confident that we got a good deal and a good price, and really by again using this service as an important purchasing resource, it's efficient, and it allows us to leverage our buying power, which is limited given the size of our staff and our budget, with others, and we're saving our taxpayers money.
Well, you know, the bottom line is, when I look at this, is that we wanted to buy a quality product, and we wanted to make sure that it was going to be reliable for a long period of time. I personally am not interested in buying the cheapest thing on the market.
That's
because
right.
you get what you pay for.
That's
and
right.
And time again, we've gone down the route of saying, let's try to save a few bucks, and at the end of the day, it doesn't work, and then we're having to rebuy it again and go, we should have bought it right the first time.
You know, and that is so true. And one of the things that we're committed to is ensuring that whatever resource we buy or whatever resource we invest in, whether it's streets, whether it's water, sewer, or information technology, that we ensure it continues through the useful life that it's expected to have. And so as a result of that, we purposely decided to work with the sales representatives who sell a Cisco product line. And really, given the size and the capacity of the Rowlett staff, we only have 5, and it's important to note that's about half of what neighboring cities that are of size have as far as staff per 1,000 population. We are very, very lean.
And Linda, we're down 40 employees from 2007.
Yes.
I mean, when you think about, we have cut about everything that can be cut at this point. And so when you do that, it has an impact. And
You
so
bet.
we're down to 5.
So Cisco was selected for a number of reasons. One, we're already trained and familiar with Cisco. Cisco is an industry leader in the IT field. They provide highly reliable and efficient service, and they're located 7 minutes from Rowlett on PGBT. So can I say they can provide timely support, timely replacement parts, which is critical for our life safety functions that operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
And I rely on, from a council perspective, it's not that you know, I take everything staff says very seriously when you bring us back a proposal, but we are very fortunate, and we have an IT, a system architect on council that works for
Doug Phillips.
Right, that works for a major company, very, very large company. It's one of probably Fortune 500 companies, and he's our system architect. And the bottom line at the end of the day, a lot of times I defer to him and say, is this a good purchase or not? Is the pricing okay? Tell us what and he came back and absolutely said, it is absolutely great. And he said, this is something that's, again, you're making an investment. That's what we use. And the bottom line is, it's going to provide us with many, many years of usefulness.
You bet. And the city values a mainstream solution that includes equipment that's within the first third of its product life. And again, we have worked with Cisco. We are confident that that's the case. Cisco continues to be located in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. And
now, what is that?
Excuse
because,
me.
you know, we talk about that, and for those that aren't familiar with what the Magic Quadrant is, I know it's a rating system in which they use to judge these companies. And I know Cisco is sort of the 800-pound gorilla. I know some folks that work there that I used to work with in Philadelphia many years ago, and I mean, they've done extraordinarily well, and they don't do that by building a cheap product.
No, it is the Gartner Magic Quadrant measures technology companies across a number of technology platforms, including copiers, servers, and networks. And really, companies can brag about where they fall on the map. They can't distribute the entire mapping that includes their competitors, which is why you don't see it advertised nationally and comparing one company to another. But essentially, it measures innovation as well as their ability to execute. And the one that was in the furthest most right corner when we looked at that report was Cisco. So we are absolutely convinced that Cisco continues to lead the market in ensuring that the products that we buy are in the first third of their useful life. That's important because we all know how quickly technology changes.
Sure,
so you don't want to buy something that we need to last 5 to 10 years in the first or the last portion of its life cycle. It needs to be in the early life cycle. And we need a managed support solution with local support staff and a single point of contact. You know, it was recommended that we consider a mixed vendor solution. There are inherent risks to that, as you well know, because when you have a problem, guess what? The vendors do this. Nobody wants to be in charge. It's your problem. No, it's your problem.
And let's talk about that for just a second again, because I think that is absolutely critically important. And one of the things that we talked about when we talked about the mixed vendor solution, we need to make sure that what we're buying is something that doesn't get this.
That's absolutely right.
Because there are many times that I've had issues at work. You know, I work for a software company. I also have a business that I run. And at the end of the day, you want a turnkey solution. You want to know that when you pick up the phone and call somebody, that they're going to be able to say, I'll take care of it for you, and not have to worry about, well, did you call that vendor? Did you call that vendor? Because at the end of the day, we're stuck holding the bag why our citizens don't have a way to contact us.
Yes, and we've done that with very mixed reviews, and in some cases we haven't been able to fix the problem, and if we have, it's been a lengthy process for all the reasons that you've mentioned. Another reason that we went with Cisco is, again, given the age and obsolescence of our current system. It has exceeded its useful life. We have critical software applications such as our financial system, public safety dispatch that depend upon reliable hardware to function. And it would simply be a waste of time, and we would not be good stewards of our citizens' resources in acquiring this equipment if we wasted time, we had a catastrophic failure, and we were unable to deliver mission-critical solutions. So as a result of that, we made a presentation on April 2nd. Council awarded the first contract on the 16th, and we are moving very quickly to acquire the Cisco product through the Department of Information Resource Pricing in order to make sure as quickly as possible we can provide technology that's reliable, dependable, and at the best price. And as I've said, since the fall, the city has had several incidents with its network. We had a complete failure of our telephone system that prevented staff and customers from contacting each other for about 3 days. So again, we know it's not a matter of if it fails, it's a matter of when it fails. And because our communication is considered mission critical, given the life safety services provided by the city, it's essential we move with a sense of urgency. Complete system failure is not an option. And by the end of the year, several critical pieces of our information technology infrastructure will no longer be serviceable. For example, the Mitel phone system is older than 8 years and will not be supported by the company. In addition, most of our routers and our switches in the city's existing network are over 7 years old, and the technology it's based on is even older. Our 2 primary core switches, absolutely essential to the efficient running of our entire network, will no longer be supported by the end of the year as well. And to be clear, when it's noted not supported, the company has indicated that they will not be able to provide replacement parts for any equipment failure that occurs. Right. So simply put, if it breaks, we couldn't get parts to fix it.
Well, you know, again, I think the bottom line with this is that it's an investment that we've got to make. And the citizens expect, you know, they expect us to be good stewards of the resources that we have. And could we buy a cheaper system? Yes. But the bottom line, at least from my perspective, is that when we look at a purchase of this is not me purchasing it for myself. This is not let me go out and buy a cheap gas grill because I have a party coming up and I've got 15 people, I'm cooking a few hamburgers. But if I'm going to buy something where I'm, in this case, a restaurant where I have the public coming in using this on a daily basis, I need something that's going to perform and it's going to be guaranteed to perform. And that's why we bought Cisco. And
it needs to perform day in, day out, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year until its end of its useful life, which is many, many years.
And don't forget the service aspect.
You bet.
You've got to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody, because at the end of the day, regardless of what you pay for it, the first time it breaks and you pick up the phone and you call somebody, that's when you know if you've got a good product or not.
That's exactly right. Well, it's been an amazing first half, and we're not even finished with our news.
Well, we've
brief.
got a lot going on as usual.
Oh, yes, we do. So how about
we take a commercial break?
I think so.
Behind me here is the course that we take all the riders through. This is for ages 5 through 12. And anybody who doesn't have a bike, we help them out. We loan them a bike as well as a helmet. We ask that everybody try to bring a bike or helmet if they have one. And then we run them through the course, and they're welcome to go through it as many times as they want throughout the day. We have several vendors come out from the community every year to help promote, be part of the community, have some giveaways, and just do some outreach within the city. We give away bikes throughout the day, both new and refurbished, and we also give away helmets, and we have a goodie trailer full of small giveaways, drinks, juices, snacks for the kids, just miscellaneous toys. We try to teach basic safety bike rules, some state and local laws, as well as what to do for stop signs and intersections, and how to ride safely, and always wear a helmet.
Hi, my name is Maria. I am a code enforcement officer with the City of Rowlett. Today I will be discussing turbid pools and life safety concerns when owning a pool. Pools and spas must have water clarity sufficient for the main drain to be readily visible from the surface of the deck above the pool or spa. Pools and spas must be secured with a fence that is a minimum of 6 feet in height, with no opening larger than 4 by 4 inches in or under the fence or barrier. Additionally, personal gates must self-close and self-latch. For more information on code enforcement, you may go to rowlett.com or contact the Community Services Division at 972-412-6283. Thank you for watching and educating yourself about your community.
Well, we're back. And we want to really talk about a topic that is, I think, near and dear to everybody's heart, and something that people have a lot of concern with, especially this time of the year, and that's mosquitoes and, of course, the West Nile disease.
Yes, in 2012, as we can remember, a significant part of North Texas experienced the largest outbreak of West Nile to date. And West Nile is a viral disease that can principally affect humans, horses, and birds, and is transmitted by the bite of an infected mosquito.
And this year, the West Nile virus has already, or West Nile, I should say, has already made an early appearance in Richardson and Highland Park already.
Yes. Within the city of Rowlett in 2012, just as a reminder, we had 10 confirmed human cases of West Nile disease and 1 fatality.
And prevention is a key.
It's essential.
You know, we talk about this all the time. It's prevention, prevention, prevention. And the residents can practice what is known as the 4 Ds of mosquito safety, and can greatly lessen the chance of mosquito bites and related disease.
That's right. So the first D is what?
Drain.
Drain, that's right.
Drain the standing water.
Residents should inspect their own property for standing and stagnant waters, and when found, these items should be drained. You might have a flower pot that holds water. It could be, some container that you've set over on the edge and it's filled up with rainwater and you're not even aware. So we can't stress enough to you to walk your property just to make sure that you see every day is not containing water. So the second D is what?
Dusk to dawn, making sure that the activity that persists is going to happen from dusk, from dusk to dawn. That's really important. So when the sun goes down, be very aware that's when the mosquitoes are coming out, and it doesn't let up until dawn.
Okay. And the third D is?
Dress.
There you go.
Make sure you've got proper dress on, and I think that's really critical. A lot of people send the kids out in shorts. They don't use any other type of protection. The kids are running around, and they are really open to getting mosquito bites.
Yes, because unfortunately this happens during the hottest part of the year.
That's
and
right.
So our tendency is to wear short sleeve, tank top, shorts, flip-flops, and that really enhances the exposure, if you will, for mosquitoes. So it is advised to wear light-colored, long-sleeve shirts and pants, and wear tennis shoes so that clothing covers exposed skin and will offer more protection against insect bites, particularly if you're going to be out for extended periods of time.
And of course, you also need additional protection, which is the fourth D, and that is to use a product that contains DEET.
That's right.
DEET. That's mosquito repellents such as off, cutter, or other approved repellents can be applied to clothing, shoes, socks, or directly on the skin where the label states such application methods.
That's right. And Rowlett staff has already begun planning, surveillance, and inspection to minimize mosquito nuisance and public health risk. So take an active part in protecting your property, protecting your family, and staying informed. It's all of our responsibilities to make Rowlett one of the safest and healthiest communities in North Texas.
And one other comment on that as well. If you see standing water in a neighbor's pool that is stagnant or something of that nature, where there's a vacant home sitting next to you, pick up the phone and call us. We went through last time, we had slide after slide where Joe Tilger, our environmental services manager, went out and he took photos, and people were astounded that these homes were next door to them, in the sense that they're right in our neighborhoods. And this is not some third world country. This is Rowlett in some cases, where you have a vacant home or just a property owner that doesn't maintain the property.
That's
you need
right.
to call us so we can help treat it.
So for more information and reference on the West Nile issue, please visit our website at rowlett.com. Starting now and throughout the summer, we'll be running a public service announcement featuring Joe Tilger, our environmental health manager for the city of Rowlett. And one last point, the Dallas Department of Health has changed the way they're going to do ground spraying for mosquitoes. No longer are they going to do spraying when there is a confirmed human case. What they're going to do is spray when there are confirmed cases of mosquitoes carrying West Nile. And when they receive confirmation, which in our case would happen on a Friday at 10 o'clock, they're going to be doing ground spraying that night. And so there will be a very short turnaround. We'll be talking about this in May in our newsletter, on this program. We're going to be informing folks through our council meeting, and again through the public service announcement with Joe Tilger. So please stay tuned to your news. Please stay tuned into what's going on, because the county learned last year that time is of the essence when you have a mosquito that has tested positive for West Nile, and they plan to act quickly.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about something a little bit more fun.
Okay.
A lot more fun than mosquitoes.
Okay.
But that is our Rowlett Police Department, again, is proudly announces the 9th annual Bike Rodeo and Safety Fair.
Are you going?
I love that thing.
I know you do.
I go every year.
I know you do.
I love watching the kids. They put a lot of effort into this, and you know, it amazes me the number of kids that, of course, riding their bikes, but they don't understand bike safety. And there's nothing better than I watch a kid getting off the bike and walking across the street because somebody taught them how to do that. And so that's going to be held on Saturday, May 11th from 10 to 2. That's the 9th annual Bike Rodeo and Safety Fair, Saturday, May 11th from 10 to 2. It's going to be held at 4700 North President George Bush Turnpike at the Rowlett High School East parking lot, which is a great parking lot for that because it's really big. They set up cones. It's really cool stuff. But there'll be drawings for new bicycles given away, plus a lot of other prizes. And all children must be accompanied by a parent or responsible adult. And don't forget your bikes and helmets. The helmets are really critical because that's an important safety factor.
Well, you know, the importance or the purpose of this event is to teach our younger children the importance of bike safety and traffic laws that apply to bicycles on the rodeo. And as you said, it's going to be Saturday, May 11th, 10 to 2, and it's for children 11 and under.
Is that why you're telling me that?
Yes. You can't take your bike, Mayor, and ride in the bike rodeo.
With the training wheels?
Can't do it. You can go visit, but you have to watch.
Forget it. I'll still go. I just got the visual me riding that little bicycle.
I did too.
All right, so let's talk about, I don't know how we segue this.
We don't, so let's just talk about
let's
the
talk
general.
Let's talk about the upcoming election.
There
as well.
you go. It's on May 11th, 2013, and it contains offices that are up for election, including the mayor, places 2, 4, 6. We're also going to have an election to consider amendments to the city's charter.
And the early voting location for the city of Rowlett will be at the Rowlett Annex Conference Room, which is in back of the City Hall area, which is at 4000 Main Street. It's where you pay your water bill. And it's going to be for any registered voter in Rowlett. Well, of course, whether they reside in Dallas County or Rockwall County, they may vote at the Dallas County early voting location and participate in the election at the local, for the city council. However, if you're a resident of Rockwall County and would like to vote on the Rockwall Independent School District's ballot, you must participate in a separate vote at Rockwall County early voting location. And it's really important because I've attended a couple of these forums, and they've had a lot of folks from Rockwall County. They're running for the school board. It's a pretty heated race, and people are going to want. I think we'll have a pretty good turnout for that. But you need to go to the Rockwall County side to do that.
Yes, and I would encourage everyone to go to the city's website at rowlett.com and read information on the charter amendments that are being considered as a part of the election. There are a number of council places plus the mayor's spot and charter amendments. So go to rowlett.com for additional information on the charter amendments. Early voting hours are Monday, April 29th through Friday, May 3rd, 8 to 5. Saturday, May 4th from 8 to 5. Sunday, May 5th from 1 to 6. And then starting Monday, May 6th through Tuesday, May 7th, it's going to be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. with Election Day occurring on May 11th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So important that you participate in your local government. And
we need you to turn out. It really, honestly, just to be very frank, it really disgusts me when we have 1,000 people show up, when we have 56,000 plus people in a city, and you let 1,000 people make a determination of who the mayor and council is going to be. You want to be involved in your government, take the opportunity to vote. Early voting could not be any easier. Exercise your right. It's important.
You bet.
Let's talk about Wet Zone Water Park. I'm excited. This is a great family opportunity. It opens May 18th. I get a lot of kids talking about it every year. Hard to believe
summer is already here.
It really is a wonderful park. I tell you, it really is a jewel for Rowlett.
You bet.
But it opens on May 18th. It's a family water park, and it's the coolest place in town. Come for the day, or better yet, you can buy a season pass and come as many times as you like. The Rowlett residents receive a discount to show your driver's license or recent utility bill to be eligible. So starting Saturday, May 18th, the Wet Zone will be open weekends only in May. And the hours in May include 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sundays, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturdays in May, and then Sundays are going to be 12 to 6. And the Wet Zone will open daily starting June 7th, but it's closed on Tuesdays for maintenance, and we do that throughout the summer. That's right. There are a variety of classes and exercise groups available at the Wet Zone, from learning how to swim to perfecting your lap time. There is a program for everyone at the Wet Zone, no matter your age or swimming ability. We want you to rent one of our mini pavilions, perfect for birthday parties, reunions, church groups, scouts groups, school outings, team parties, company picnics, or any other group looking to have a great time. So for ticket prices, class schedules, party rentals, and special event schedules, visit wetzonewaterpark.com. And what a great facility. It is. And so please take advantage of it. Also upcoming, we have our Memorial Day celebration featuring Touch a Truck. I love that event. I just love anything to do with our community events, but it really does have, that's what really makes us just such a great community. Saturday, May 25th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. An opportunity, and that's going to be, of course, on the library lawn, 4000 Main Street. We're going to shut down Main Street again for Touch a Truck, but the city of Rowlett has come together to honor the brave men and women who dedicated their lives to preserving our freedom. Hundreds of citizens, friends, and families will meet at Veterans Park to pay homage to our fallen soldiers. This special day continues with Touch a Truck, a fun and educational opportunity for children of all ages to touch, climb, and explore over 25 trucks lined up on Main Street. It's just a lot of fun. And again, that day is?
Well, it's Saturday, May 25th from 10 to 1 in downtown Main Street. And during this episode of Rowlett on the Move, in honor of Memorial Day, we're showing a video feature in the breaks that we're calling Unsung Heroes. And I am so proud to feature employees that serve not only our community, but our country as well. And they give of their time in a reserve capacity, and they've had several deployments, and I'm really honored to be able to interview them and feature them as a part of this program.
Well, and God bless those guys, because let me tell you, at the end of the day, they enable us to do what we're doing here.
You bet.
Because if it wasn't for that freedom, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing.
You bet.
Let's talk about Public Works Week on May 25th, or May 19th through May 25th.
Well, you know, National Public Works Week is a celebration of the tens of thousands of men and women in North America who provide and maintain the infrastructure and services collectively known as public works. And truly, to me, Mayor, they are unsung heroes, because,
That's right.
I know that our police and fire are so important, and they truly are, but if your toilets don't flush, the water doesn't run, and you don't have streets to drive on, life doesn't work very well. So these guys are, in my opinion, where the rubber meets the road.
Well, and I love the theme this year because of Public Works.
You bet.
We're able to have clean water because of Public Works. We're able to have clean water because of Public Works. We're able to have safe streets, safe neighborhoods, and of course, efficient traffic and safe, clean communities because of Public Works.
That's right.
You know, these folks we undervalue them significantly, and I love our police and fire, but we never talk about Public Works. It's always like, well, they're just the guys that fix the pothole out there. Well, they do so much more than that.
Sure
These
do.
guys, they never cease to amaze me. Every time something happens, I go by, at odd hours of the night, because I have to go out to get something, and there's a water main break, and guess who's standing there with backhoe in hand? It's a whole group, and they've taken time of the day. They're not just sitting around waiting for something to happen. They've been called in, and regardless of the issue, they are there, rain or shine, and they do a terrific job.
So the Rowlett Public Works Department will receive a proclamation from the mayor at the May 21st council meeting. Tune in or join us in person and help celebrate these real heroes in our city.
Let's talk about our newsletter, Rowlett on the Water on the Move. I love that newsletter.
It is amazing how much information is in that newsletter every month.
Well, you can keep up with what's happening in your city, and that really, I will tell you that Denise Perrin's done an awesome job. It's extraordinarily informative. It's electronic, which is even better because you can send it to your friends, and it includes updates from every single department. You'd also find out the latest economic development opportunities, get crime prevention tips, and learn how your city spends its tax dollars, and you can keep up with all the fun and special events like fireworks on Main. You can see what's going on at the Rowlett Library and the Community Center, and so much more.
You know, and the cool thing about this, Mayor, is the newsletter will be delivered right into your inbox each month. You can subscribe now by going to rowlett.com and simply typing in your email address.
And what I love about it being electronic again is you can send it to other people.
Yes.
And I love that because you'll send it to HOAs, and then they'll send it out to their mess. And even though you may not, or even though you may not get it, or you may have erased it by accident, it's great because then somebody else can send it to you just like that.
Well, it's located on our website, so if you ever delete it, all you have to do is go to rowlett.com to get it. And as you said, you can brag. I love when you brag.
I'll let you brag too, but let's talk about Denise Perrin for a minute.
Well, Denise does a wonderful job putting together the newsletter. Last month's issue was 24 pages, and it's filled with community news, events, programs, and the summer issue is a must if you're a parent. And let's talk about that just a minute. In May, we're going to do the May newsletter, and then we're doing a May special summer issue of all of the fun things going on in the city of Rowlett, and we're calling it Camp Rowlett. And let me just say to you, Mayor, it doesn't matter whether you're 4 months old or you're 90 years old, we got something for you to do at Camp Rowlett this summer. So be sure and get a copy of this. Yes?
Can I go to camp?
You can go to Camp Mayor. They had you in mind. That's it. That's it. And actually, in June, we're going to be kind of doing a little promo here for June. You and I are going to be experiencing 30 days of fun in the sun in Rowlett in June.
I like that.
I know you do. We are excited
I get
about
that little bicycle out there and riding it.
Well, you're going to be fishing.
Yes.
And you're going to be flying a kite.
Okay.
And you're going to be playing basketball.
I like that.
We're going to have a picnic. Going to be out grilling.
Golf.
You can do that. I'm going to stand back behind you, but you can.
I highly recommend you do that too.
Never know where you're going with that. But again, just in summary, our newsletter is a wonderful way to stay informed with what's going on in Rowlett. And again, don't miss the summer issue. If you're a parent, if you're a citizen, if you're a child or you're a senior, there's something in the Camp Rowlett edition for you.
Absolutely. Well, so let's go to a commercial break now.
All righty.
How you doing? I'm Robert Harris. I'm a crew leader here in the Public Works Street Department. Me and another co-worker, Will Placeco, we work on a street assessment and 50-50 sidewalk program, street and alley rebuilds and repairs. Now, I joined the military on August 23rd, 1993 out in Shreveport, Louisiana. I was in the United States Navy. I started as an E1, and now it's been 20 years. So now I've been promoted to Chief Petty Officer, which is the highest of the enlisted ranks. So I'm pretty proud of that achievement, I was deployed in 2004 to Balad, Iraq. I spent 9 months there. It was an eye-opener, but I loved it. I got to work with some great guys, and gals, so it was awesome. It was awesome. A lot of things over there, it tests you. So I was, like I said, I was glad of the opportunity to serve my country, and I think we achieved our mission. So I gladly do it again. My job as a chief in the Navy now, it kind of ties in to, my job duties here. It pretty much is about taking care of your people. Like I said, in the military, that's what chiefs do. We take care of people. We make sure that they get the job done, make sure that there's a leader over them, and it's the same thing here. We do our job here at the city, and we take care of our customers. So I'm glad to do it. When I first got employed at the city, I was like, man, it's going to be a little rough, but like I said, I've been here for 11 years, and to me, it's been the greatest job I have besides the military. So, like I said, I'm glad to serve.
Hello, I'm Joe Tilger, the Environmental Health Manager with the City of Rowlett. I'm here today to talk about mosquitoes and West Nile virus disease. In 2012, a significant part of North Texas experienced the largest outbreak of West Nile to date. West Nile is a viral disease that can principally affect humans, horses, and birds, and is transmitted by the bite of an infected mosquito. Within the City of Rowlett in 2012, there were 10 confirmed human cases of West Nile disease and 1 fatality. In 2012, several ground applications of mosquito spraying in localized areas occurred where positive trap results or when a confirmed human case was verified. In late August of 2012, citywide ground spraying occurred, followed by 2 nights of aerial spraying, which brought about the end of the West Nile epidemic. In an effort to minimize mosquito nuisances and West Nile disease, Dallas County Health and the City of Rowlett will be modifying the monitoring and action plans in anticipation of another busy mosquito season. Mosquito control in Rowlett is the shared responsibility of the City of Rowlett, property owners, Rowlett citizens, and the Dallas County Health Department. The City of Rowlett contracts and partners with Dallas County Health and Human Services to provide mosquito trapping, monitoring, testing, and spraying if needed. In 2013, Dallas County Health will be conducting weekly mosquito trapping, monitoring, and testing to maintain a count of the relative mosquito population, types of mosquitoes, and the possible presence of mosquito-borne viral diseases such as West Nile or St. Louis encephalitis. A minimum of 5 permanent test sites will be monitored and evaluated beginning in early May and continuing to at least the first freeze in late 2013. The location of these permanent traps separates the city into 5 geographic zones. Should a positive result for West Nile or another related mosquito-borne disease be found, then Dallas County will ground spray an entire zone beginning as early as 9 p.m. that evening. Dallas County staff will contact the City of Rowlett of the impending ground spraying plans, and Rowlett citizens will be notified that day by the Blackboard Connect phone system. Also, the placement of signage in the affected areas and messages placed on the City of Rowlett's webpage. This streamlined monitoring, testing, and possible treatment of affected areas has been designed to quickly address and react to existing mosquito-related health risk. This modified plan is a concerted effort to minimize the threat of West Nile disease to Rowlett citizens. Residents can practice what is known as the 4 Ds of mosquito safety that can greatly lessen the chance of mosquito bites and related disease. Citizens can also lower their personal risk to West Nile disease by taking actions at their own property and engaging in personal protection actions. The first D is to drain standing water. Residents should inspect their own property for standing and stagnant waters. When found, these items should be drained. Items at home such as flower pots, bird baths, clogged gutters, kiddie pools, French drain systems, non-functional fountains, uncovered boats, buckets, wheelbarrows, and any other item that may collect water could be development sites for mosquito larvae. Junk and debris such as used drink containers, buckets, tarps, tires, or even open trash containers could be an opportunity for mosquitoes to grow and develop within a few feet of our homes. Residents should also be aware that the outside grills can often provide a temporary cover for adult mosquitoes, with some models containing a grease catch basin. These containers could hold a mixture of food material and water from precipitation. Residents that have outdoor swimming pools and/or spas should assure that their units are always maintained to have sufficient water circulation and proper water clarity. Residents that see or know of other properties with an unattended pool or spa are encouraged to contact the Rowlett Community Services Division to have a staff member inspect a location to assure no mosquito activity is present and to minimize potential drowning risk to children. The second D is to be aware of increased mosquito activity that persists from dawn to dusk. Most mosquitoes avoid direct sunlight and hence wait to feed once sunset has occurred. One of the major groups of mosquitoes that is a transmitter of West Nile disease is the Culex genus. This group of mosquitoes often has high feeding activity just after sunset. Rowlett residents should try to limit their time outside once direct sunlight is gone when possible. The third D for personal protection is dress. Residents can take action to minimize mosquito exposure by wearing light-colored, long-sleeve shirts and pants. Clothing that covers exposed skin will offer more protection against insect bites. The fourth D for mosquito protection is to use DEET products. Mosquito repellents such as Off, Cutter, or other approved repellents can be applied to clothing, shoes, socks, and directly to the skin when the label states such application methods. Using these products when outside, and especially after sunset, can greatly reduce insect bites. Be sure to follow label directions and avoid application near the eyes, nose, mouth, and children's hands. These products should be applied to clothing when possible to minimize excessive skin exposure. Rowlett staff has already begun planning, surveillance, and inspection to minimize mosquito nuisances and public health risk. Take an active part in protecting your property, protecting your family, and staying informed. For more information and references, please visit our website at www.rowlett.com and select Mosquito and West Nile information on the lower left tab of the web page. Significant postings of mosquito activity, spraying treatments, zones to be treated, and other information will be available on our web page. It's all of our responsibilities to make Rowlett one of the safest and healthiest communities in North Texas. Together we can make a difference. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about mosquitoes, West Nile disease, or any other of the mentioned items, please contact the Rowlett Community Services Division at 972-412-6283. That's 972-412-6283. We can also be reached by email or on the web at rowlett.com. Thanks for tuning in.
Well, one of the things that really disturbs me about the city sometimes you'll see is graffiti. And there's nothing worse than going back to Philadelphia or other areas where I get to travel and you see a lot of graffiti. And we've been pretty good here. But I think it's always important that we provide tips.
Yes, you know, and there's nothing more inviting than a well-maintained and cleaned neighborhood.
That's right.
Spray-painted fences and buildings are an issue that can potentially be prevented. And so Officer Chad Caldwell is going to present us with some prevention tips to help keep our neighborhood and our community well-maintained and clean.
Hello, I'm Chad Caldwell, Community Services Officer for the Rowlett Police Department. Nothing is more inviting than a well-maintained and clean neighborhood. Unfortunately, all it takes is mischievous behavior by a few to make Rowlett neighborhoods appear cluttered and crime-riddled. Many of you have seen evidence of this in the past in the form of graffiti. Spray-painted fences and buildings do not make a community very inviting to others, and together we can stop this criminal behavior. The first thing to remember is that graffiti is not kids being kids, but it is a crime. It reduces our property values and drives away our businesses, our citizens, and in some cases, our residents' jobs. Some graffiti is a territory marking device associated with street gangs, but the majority of offenses in Rowlett are merely indicative of unsupervised young people. Gang-related or not, graffiti makes our community appear unsafe. It sends a message that someone other than our residents and our city is in control here. This encourages other crime and can lead to the decline of a whole neighborhood. Here are 5 tips to prevent graffiti. Number 1, keep your neighborhood clean and neat. Remove litter and trash, fix broken fences, trim landscape, and ensure all lighting is working properly. Number 2, report it. If you see graffiti, quickly report it to the appropriate authorities. If you see someone engaging in graffiti, never confront the perpetrator, but do call 911 immediately. Remember, graffiti is a crime. Number 3, remove it. Rapid removal of graffiti is an effective prevention tool. Most data shows that the removal within 24 to 48 hours drastically reduces reoccurrence. Number 4, change the landscape and limit the opportunity. Shrubs, thorny plants, and vines will effectively restrict vandal access. Plan or add lighting around your property. And number 5, change the surface. Textured surfaces are less attractive to graffiti vandals. Dark-colored or colorful surfaces do not provide a good canvas for graffiti. As always, stay safe, Rowlett.
You know, our favorite topic is construction.
That's right.
We fortunately don't have to talk about construction near as much as we used to. It's now a small portion of this program.
Well, this is really good construction. I mean,
Instead
really
of it being
is.
the whole
Yes,
program.
Exactly right.
But you know, this month, Jake Gilliland is here with our Construction Corner, and he's going to update us on a number of construction projects happening this month, including the Merritt Liberty Grove connector. We've got a erosion control and drainage project project at Penridge and Cheesa, and so he's going to fill us in on all of the happenings. But if you would like to see all of the construction projects in Rowlett, present and future, just visit our website at rowlett.com, and under the Departments tab, click on Public Works/Development, and there you'll find a comprehensive list of projects. So stay tuned for Jake.
Merritt Road is a capital improvement project being built as an interconnector for the PGBT. The roadway will be the northern gateway into the city of Rowlett and serve the future development of the city's North Shore District. The original contract amount of the project is $12.7 million, with 80% of the roadway funding being provided from the Regional Tollway Revenue Fund. The completed roadway will be configured as 4-lane divided pavement with the median landscaping functioning as an environmentally friendly stormwater conveyance. The construction of the 36-inch transmission water line at Merritt Road and Castle is complete and in service. The new 16-inch distribution line along Merritt Road north of East Hickox has also been completed and is in service. Both of these water lines will be replacing an aging system in this quadrant of the city. The proposed sanitary sewer line is over 80% complete from the south end of the project north to Castle Road. This line will provide city sewer service to the residents south of Castle to the PGBT. Both of these integral upgrades to the city's infrastructure will provide the capabilities to provide more than adequate service for the anticipated growth that will come with the PGBT. The roadway paving has been completed north of Castle to the city of Rowlett north city limits, with southbound main lines currently being constructed from West Hickox to Castle Drive. To expedite the construction of the Castle-Merritt Road intersection, the westbound access to Castle Drive has been closed for the next 4 to 6 weeks. The overall project is 60% complete and ahead of schedule. Penridge and Cheesa is a drainage capital improvement project to stabilize the erosion which has occurred at the culvert under Cheesa Road near the intersection of Penridge Circle. The project's original contract amount is $499,600. The project involves construction gabion walls, which are rock baskets, at the downstream end of the culvert to rehabilitate the culvert and wing walls. The stabilization will ensure the long-term integrity of Cheesa Road at this location. As part of this project, a sidewalk is included on the east side of Cheesa Road from Woodside to Schrady Road, along with drainage improvements on the northeast corner of Schrady and Cheesa to accommodate the sidewalk in that location. All sidewalks are constructed and all sod is installed. The walk bridge at Penridge has been installed. This project is 100% complete and awaiting final acceptance by the City Council. Kyle Road is a capital improvement project to improve the drainage capacity of Long Branch Creek. The project contract is $658,000 and includes the extension of the existing culverts under Kyle Road and the addition of a culvert widening of the roadway. The addition of the box culvert is complete. The north box culvert footing and face wall is under construction. The south main lane of Kyle is currently being constructed. Project is at 60% completion and is behind schedule. The alley reconstruction is a $2.4 million capital improvement project consisting of the removal and replacement of the alley paving and storm drainage improvements for 22 alleys throughout the city. All alleys are complete. Substantial completion is submitted. The city has an additional 4 alleys for RKM, and they will return to Rowlett in late March or early April. Larry Street is an improvement project funded by the Federal Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, administered by Dallas County. The project contract is for $785,000 to include much needed drainage improvements, replacement of an aging sanitary sewer and water system, the construction of 5-foot pedestrian sidewalks, and 8-inch concrete pavement. The utility crew has installed all underground utilities and storm inlet structures. The paving crew is currently working on subgrade preparation to begin construction of the roadway this month. The pre-construction meeting was held on January 8th of 2013. Work will begin January 14th of 2013. The project includes 363 wastewater manholes for coating and rehab. All pipelines over 10 inches were evaluated. Fuquay Incorporated will perform the work, and the project is estimated to be complete in May.
This is my favorite department.
I know.
Because as I always say, there's always something going on at the library.
It's your favorite department until you get to the parks, and then they're your favorite department.
You're ruining it. Okay, they're all favorite. Okay, but no, but these
I'm
folks,
not ruining it because I need them to be all your favorites,
they are
Mayor.
my favorite. But they do an outstanding job. When you look at the budget they have, and you couldn't get a better staff. I cannot say enough about the folks at the public library.
You know, that is so true. And I would invite everyone to watch the April 16th council meeting on our Rowlett.com streaming video, because the Rowlett Public Library was one of only 30 out of 560 plus libraries in the state of Texas to receive the state's Department of Excellence Award for Libraries. So when you say they do an amazing job, you are not kidding.
Well, and a lot of times you think about, what do I do with the kids for the summer? And you're looking for different things to keep them, you know, engaged. And it's not just go outside and play. But the public library is such a great resource. And you know, as summer approaches and the temperatures begin to rise, there's no better way to beat the heat than visiting the public library.
That's right.
It also helps keep their skills fresh for school. I can't tell you how many times you just stop doing anything and then they come back to school and they sort of have to reteach them again. And the public library is a great way to keep them engaged. You know, there's a free, at the Rowlett Public Library, gives you access to books, DVDs, CDs, there's computer access, and of course much more. So here's an idea. Are you going on a road trip for the summer vacation?
I might.
But you don't have any kids, so let me just tell you how this works, okay?
Okay.
See, you have nice road trips. It's quiet. You listen to what you want. No, I go on road trips. It's, I don't like you. Shut up. You know, they're driving the back seat. You're looking for things, and it's hard. And you're like, where's that stuff? Well, there's a really great way to do it. So you go out and buy an iPod. Go out and do one of those things. But you know, you can actually check out audiobooks as you drive.
That's a very good idea.
And it's not just for, you know, it's not just for the kids, but also for you. It's also nice because a lot of times if you don't have satellite radio, the stations are fading in and out. You can buy an audiobook and really enjoy the drive. And better yet, go get one for the kids because it'll keep them quiet and makes it really nice, sane, happy time.
So you're saying if it's an extra long road trip, I could get multiple audiobooks free of charge at the library?
If it's an extra long road trip, fly. You got the kids. Ask any parent out there. I'm just telling you the truth. But no, but seriously, you know, the audiobooks are really cool because it gives them an opportunity to just lay back and, you know, put the headset in, and if you're driving, you know, just pop it into your MP3 or CD or whatever type of connectivity that you guys have, and it works out really well. But
so just in summary, whether it's January, February, March, April, or in this case, May, they've always got a lot going on, and May is another exciting month for the library that has programs to keep you and your family busy. So here's Kathy Lane with just some of the featured activities in May at the library.
Hi, I'm Kathy Lane, Programming Coordinator for the Rowlett Public Library. We're located at 3900 Main Street right here in Rowlett. Summer is almost here. Have you visited the Rowlett Public Library? You can plan for your summer trips, your outdoor activities, and your gardens. Visit the Rowlett Public Library where you can find all sorts of materials from books to audiobooks to magazines, all for you to borrow for free to inspire you and educate you to be ready for summer. May is a really exciting month for families, and the library has programs to keep you and your family busy. Some of our featured activities include tech education. They'll be talking about Facebook, and you can learn the ins and outs of America's most popular social networking site on May 7th at 6:30 p.m. or May 24th at 10:30 a.m. It'll be in the library conference room, absolutely free, as all our programs are. Please join us on Saturday, May 11th at 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. for the Literary Tea. This is an annual event and all ages are welcome to dress up and attend this special occasion party. We'll have an author, a harpist, delicious desserts, and of course, many varieties of tea. Reservations are needed, so if you wish to attend, please call or stop by the reference desk. Our phone number is 972-412-6161. Red, white, and blue in the library too. That's Saturday, May 25th from 10 a.m. to noon. It's during the Touch a Truck celebration on the library lawn. Come on into the library. We'll be open with a special program in the meeting room. We're going to make crafts, listen to stories by a local celebrity. And don't forget that everyone's a winner when they check out great books, DVDs, CDs, and more from your library. Come celebrate the best in children's literature during Children's Book Week, May 13th to May 18th. Fill out an entry form for a chance to win a basket full of books. There are many storytime programs for the younger family members to help bolster their early reading skills. Join us for Baby Storytime every Monday at 10:30 for walking babies, 11:30 for lap-sit babies. These are interactive. They include nursery rhymes, board books, songs, bubbles, and peekaboo parachute play. They're all carefully crafted to simulate your child's early learning. There will be no story time on Monday, May 27th due to the holiday closure. Toddler story time is every Wednesday at 10:30. Toddlers crave action, and this story time makes learning fun. Toddler story time is for children ages 18 months to 3 years of age and includes books, stories, songs, action rhymes, finger plays, crafts, puppets, a giant parachute with bubbles, and surprise guests. There'll be no story time on Wednesday, May 8th. Preschool story time is every Friday at 10:30. It's for children 3 years of age and older. Enjoy stories together and build language skills through books, songs, flannel stories, puppets, marching to music, finger plays, and for a big fun finale, a giant parachute with bubbles. There'll be no story time on Friday, May 10th. Bilingual Spanish story time is on the third Tuesday of the month at 10:30. Help your child experience the world in another language. Join us on Tuesday, May 19th for books and songs in Spanish. There'll be puppets, crafts, and much, much more. When you're out and about, don't miss story times at McDonald's, May 14th and May 28th. On the second Tuesday of every month, we're at Highway 66 and Rowlett Road. On the fourth Tuesday of the month, we're at Lakeview Parkway between Cheesa and Dow Rock. Come to the library on Saturday mornings at 10:30 for Saturdays at the library. This is a fun time for all ages to enjoy movies, games, and crafts. On Saturday, May 4th, wear your munchkin best while munching on free popcorn and come to watch the G-rated movie, The Wizard of Oz. On Saturday, May 11th, have fun decorating a paper butterfly in the Butterfly Flutterby program. And on Saturday, May 18th, play games with your friends and family at Saturday Games at the library. Celebrate Free Comic Book Day locally at comic book stores and at the library on Saturday, May 4th, all day long. Teens and tweens ages 10 to 18, get ready for the hot summer months with a special craft afternoon on May 18th. It's at 2 p.m. just for you. It's called the Dye for Summer program. Repurpose old t-shirts into useful and colorful bags, perfect for summer totes. Bring your own t-shirt. The tie-dye materials will be provided by the library. And for adults, we've got ESL classes in the meeting room and GED classes in the conference room. Sign up for both classes at the reference desk. On Tuesday, May 21st at 7 p.m., the knitting group invites you to join them in the library conference room. The group meets every month on the third Tuesday of the month. Keep checking the website, our calendars, and RTN television station for more information. The summer reading program is almost here. And please remember, the library will be closed on Monday, May 27th for Memorial Day. There's something for everyone at your Rowlett Public Library.
Tim Kuykendall, patrol officer for the Rowlett Police Department. Been here about 4.5 years now. Been in the military about 10 years. Joined when I was 26 years old. 2 deployments, one to Iraq in '07 and a recent one to Saudi Arabia last year. Both about 6 to 9 months for each deployment. Right now I'm a E7 Master Sergeant. Kind of working my way up, trying to get to the top. E9 is the top, so hopefully in my next 10 years, I'll make it to the E9 and retire at 20 years. The title Security Forces, basically a military police for the Air Force. First deployment, base security, whether it be sitting in towers, watching the perimeter, mobile patrol around the base, looking for people trying to get through the wire, that kind of thing. This last one, I was more back office. We have an intelligence position, trying to gather intelligence and get an idea of how people would attack us, should they need to, and get that information back out to the troops so that they can help defend the base. City gives me military days each year. I get so many military days that I use for my weekends. Because I work weekends, I have to use them for my weekends, and then also my 2 weeks a year. The first one, they called us in March and we left in July. This last one, it was a little longer. I guess July of 11, they started talking to us about it, and I didn't leave until April of 2012. Wow. So I had some time to make family adjustments and figure out how we're going to do everything. With 3 kids, it gets interesting. About 4 years ago, my wife joined as well. So while I was in the FTO program here, she was off at basic training. So I was here with the kids by myself, and of course she's been with the kids by herself during my deployments, and hopefully we don't both get deployed at the same time at some point. That would be a challenge. I'd encourage anyone out there thinking about doing it to go talk to a recruiter. I mean, I don't regret it a minute of my life. The only thing I regret is waiting until I was 26, not 18 to join. So.
Now for my next favorite department.
There you go.
This is my favorite department, Linda. But our Parks and Recreation staff does just a marvelous, marvelous job. And in Parks and Recreation, of course, they've got a lot going on as well. You can keep healthy and keep the kids busy this summer. The Summer Lakeside Leisure Parks and Recreation catalog is full of fun summertime activities, and there's a lot of things to do. We've got registration open for a full slate of fitness classes, children's activities, and fun summer programming, along with activities for older adults. There's really something for everybody.
You can visit the Rowlett Community Center at 5300 Main Street or give them a call at 972-412-6170. So here are the highlights of the Parks and Recreation schedule for the month of May.
The May Park of the Month is Pecan Grove Park, located at 5300 Main Street. Pecan Grove Park is home to the Rowlett Community Center, Kids Kingdom, Playground, and the Wet Zone. Pecan Grove Park is 27 acres and features off-street parking, 10 picnic tables, a Pecan Grove Pavilion that is available to reserve for your special function, 1 large practice soccer field, lots of open space, and a 1-mile trail. If you are looking for the perfect place to hold your family picnic or gathering, Pecan Grove truly offers something for everyone. May is focused on Martial Arts Month at the Rowlett Community Center. Did you know that we offer 3 different martial arts based options? There truly is something for everyone. Programs begin the first week of each month. Taekwondo for beginners, intermediate, and advanced ages 5 to 12 years. Instructor Robert Blakely. Learn traditional Taekwondo in a positive atmosphere. Discipline, power, focus, and conditioning are just some of the things you will learn in this year-round program. 5th degree black belt Bobby Blakely has over 25 years of experience and over 10 black belts under him. Attend class 1 or 2 nights a week, $30 a month for 1 night a week, $5 for each additional family member, $50 a month for 2 nights a week, $10 for each additional family member. Jiu-Jitsu, ages 12 and up, instructor Dwayne Ethington. Jiu-Jitsu is an explosive and effective system that offers the opportunity to learn easy and applicable methods of protecting yourself while earning rank. Attend class 1 or 2 nights a week, $30 a month for 1 night a week, $5 for each additional family member, and $50 a month for 2 nights a week, $10 for each additional family member, $60 for 3 times a week. Pink and Bad Self-Defense for women, ages 16 and up, instructor Dwayne Ethington. Be a survivor, not a victim. We will work with women on how to protect themselves if the situation presents itself. Classes are held once a week for 4 weeks. The major focuses of the class are awareness and prevention, reacting during situations that could be hazardous, and developing self-confidence. Want to work out but don't know what to do with your little one? Rowlett Community Center has just the solution. Child's Play Drop-In Playtime program provides a stimulating environment for your child to explore, play, and interact with other children while you enjoy the benefits of the Rowlett Community Center. While working out or taking a class, check in at the front desk and then drop your kids off at the Child's Play room where they can enjoy a wide variety of entertainment. Fee is $3 per visit per child or $20 for a 10-visit punch card. Please note, parents must remain in the community center while their child is participating in the Child's Play program. The program is offered Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. It's time to get that preschooler ready for team sports. Let us help with the transition into T-ball with Little Sluggers T-ball. In this 5-week instructional program, your kids will have a blast learning the basic fundamentals of baseball. Not only will they learn teamwork, but they will also learn fielding, throwing, hitting, and base running in a non-competitive environment. The first 4 weeks will be focused on teaching skills, followed by 1 week of games. The program is open to preschoolers 3 to 5 years, and class will begin on May 2nd and be held on Thursday evenings at 6 p.m. until May 30th. The fee for the program is $40. It's Friday night and it's time to get the family out for some fun exercise. The kids won't even know they are working toward their 300 minutes of exercise per week when you attend Family Fun Bike Night. Family Fridays are fun times for biking. Grab your gear, your bikes, and your family and head out to Lakes of Springfield to enjoy a scenic tour of our park. Also, while you are there, stop by and pick up tips on bicycle safety from our staff or local authorities. Join us at Springfield on May 3rd from 7 to 9 p.m. The program is free and guaranteed to be lots of fun for everyone. Bring your bike, helmet, and water bottle. Calling all seniors. Join Rowlett Police Department's Chad Caldwell as he presents a program on scams all seniors should look out for. Scams may include medical wellness checks, free energy audit, home repairs, voter registration, free home inventory, videotaping, and many more. How not to be scammed will also be offered on Tuesday, May 7th at 10 o'clock a.m. We also encourage mothers, grandmothers, sisters, and daughters to join us to celebrate you and your loved one. Treat your mom on her special day with a catered breakfast. Mother's Day breakfast will be held on Friday, May 10th at 8:30 a.m. at the Rowlett Community Center. The fee is $3 and requires pre-registration by May 7th. And it's that time of year again. Wet Zone Water Park is opening on Saturday, May 18th at 11 a.m. Get there early and enjoy all the fun in the lap pool, Haley's Ripple Slide, the lazy river, or hanging out on the water playground. Don't forget to sign up for swim lessons, swim team, or our junior lifeguard program. Rowlett Predators 2013 swim team will begin May 13th through July 12th. Pre-summer practices will begin Monday through Thursday, May 13th through May 31st. Practice will begin at 4:30 p.m. for beginners and 5:45 p.m. for intermediate advanced. Regular morning practices will be held Monday through Friday, June 3rd through July 12th. Practice times to be determined based upon enrollment. Registration fee is $155, which includes team swimsuit, swim cap, t-shirt, and TAF fees. Team will compete in TAF swim meets within their region, the regional swim meet, and if qualified, will be able to go to state. If a participant makes it to state, all fees will be paid by the participant. On the special event front, the City of Rowlett comes together to honor the brave men and women who dedicated their lives to preserving our freedom. Citizens, friends, and family meet at Veterans Park to pay homage to our fallen soldiers. This special day continues with Touch a Truck, a fun and educational opportunity for children of all ages to touch, climb, and explore over 25 trucks lined up on Main Street. Registration is going on now for all our programs at the Rowlett Community Center. You can stop by at 5300 Main Street or give us a call at 972-412-6170 to get registered today. There is always something new and fun at the Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department. Be sure to check out the website for additional information.
So let's go back and talk about the library for a moment, my other favorite place. But one of the really cool things about the library, and one of my favorite people, Phil, at the library, presents tips, technology tips.
You know, and that is so important. We talk about this every month, that there are a lot of folks that are technologically savvy. And then there are some folks that just struggle to keep up with the basics. And I so appreciate reading Phil's...
Why are you staring at me?
Because you're not who I'm talking about. I'm who I'm talking about. But, you know, it's always wonderful to read Phil's information every month that gives some background information on things that you know just enough about to be dangerous. And he tells you the whys and the wherefores, and it is so particularly helpful. And so today, Phil's going to be talking about browser extensions.
Is that like hair extensions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So what are browser extensions?
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we?
We are. But they're programs
Right.
that you can install on your browser to add extra features and functionality for when you surf the internet. So this month's tip is a little more advanced than normal.
Which is actually really good, because there's people of all levels that watch this,
You bet.
and you know, and it's amazing how many times you pick little stuff up and go, I didn't know that. So if you need help, or if you need anytime that you need hands-on help, you can always you know, you can always take a tech ed series classes at the library.
Mm-hmm.
They're free of charge. Phil's there to help, and Phil, just give us the details.
Hi, I'm Phil Barrett, Tech Services Supervisor with the Rowlett Public Library, here with a useful technical tip. Browser extensions are programs you can install on your browser to add extra features and functionality. Chrome and Firefox have many browser extensions, and they're easy to install. However, while Internet Explorer does have them, they are difficult to find and install depending on which version you're using. So if you're interested in using browser extensions, your best bet is to go with either Chrome or Firefox. There are hundreds of extensions available, so I can't cover even a fraction of them here. I just want to give you an idea of the types of things you can find. One popular category is security extensions. These make your web browser more secure in a variety of ways. One available for Firefox and Chrome, called Ghostery, monitors which websites try to track you and blocks them. Another, called HTTPS Everywhere, makes sure that HTTPS, a more secure form of browsing, is turned on whenever possible. However, extensions aren't all about security. Impulse is an extension that lets you save products from any store onto a personal shopping cart, so you can keep track of the stuff you want to buy. Pocket lets you keep track of websites you want to revisit, but across platforms. You could find a website, add it to your Pocket, and then pull it up again later on your computer, cell phone, or tablet. Do you have a ton of bookmarks and you aren't sure what to do with them? Try Bookmark Sentry, which scans your bookmarks and deletes all broken or duplicate links. Do you spend too much time on Facebook? Install Facebook Nanny, which prevents you from signing on unless you have notifications. Not all add-ons work the same, but typically you'll have an extra button on your toolbar that will allow you to use your new add-on, depending on its function. For example, security extensions will display some kind of warning message, either as a graphic or text box, but won't necessarily have a button to push that executes some kind of action. Others, such as the shopping cart extension, will have a button to push that pulls up a menu. It just depends on what kind of extension you're installing. To install add-ons for Firefox, first visit the Firefox add-ons page at addons.mozilla.org. From this page, you'll be able to search for add-ons, browse the different add-on categories, and see which add-ons are newest or most popular. Find one that you like and click on the green Add to Firefox button. Depending on how you have your security settings, you may need to click Allow once or twice. Then you'll just need to restart Firefox and you'll be set. To manage and remove add-ons for Firefox, go to Tools, then Add-ons. This will bring up a tab from which you can install new add-ons, disable installed add-ons, or remove them completely. To install extensions for Chrome, visit the Chrome store at chrome.google.com/webstore. Find one that you like and click on the Add to Chrome button. A page will open that shows what kind of information the extension will be able to access. If you agree to this, click OK, and the extension will install. To manage or remove extensions for Chrome, go to Tools, then Extensions. This will bring up a tab from which you can disable or delete extensions. As a final note about security, some extensions have had trouble with malware or viruses, and some of them just don't work very well and can cause trouble for your browser when installed. So make sure you read through some of the reviews for a particular extension before you install it. You should also only install add-ons that come from the official Chrome or Firefox sites, unless you have a level of technical expertise that you feel comfortable installing extensions from outside sources. I haven't even scratched the surface of what is available for extensions. To learn more, visit the Chrome or Firefox extension sites and look around. You can also search technical news sites and blog articles on available extensions. For more information on this and other technology tips, come to the Rowlett Public Library, where we have informational materials, computers you can practice on, and staff to help you out.
And now one of our favorite segments amongst all the viewers is what I call Where Your Money Goes. We get a little like background, that deep voice, but it's really a good opportunity today in Where Your Money Goes. You can see the feature known as pipe bursting.
Yes, and Where Your Money Goes is a feature that we do every month to be open and transparent about the $8.65 rate increase that was enacted in October in your water and sewer bill. And this is what you talked about earlier when we were talking about technology, about council made a commitment to not kick the can down the street with our water and sewer infrastructure, because the droughts of 2005 and 2011 really exacerbated the age of our infrastructure in the ground, and we've got to make some serious improvements. So every month we want to be accountable to you, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about pipe bursting, because it is really a cool technology.
Well, and this allows us to be able to do it ourselves, not have to go outside and hire these contractors to come in. But through this process, several hundred feet of mainline pipe can be replaced in a shorter amount of time than using traditional open excavation methods.
Yes, with significantly less impact on the community.
That's exactly right.
And that is a really, really cool thing.
And we can do it ourselves.
You bet.
Which is even better.
So stay tuned for a segment on pipe bursting.
Where Your Money Goes.
We've spoken several times in the past about pipe bursting and what we can do with it. Today we're going to talk a little bit about how it works and what's involved. Pipe bursting is what is known as trenchless technology. This means that several hundred feet of mainline pipe can be replaced in a shorter amount of time than using traditional open excavation methods. Once it's been determined that a certain section of pipe needs to be replaced, the utility construction crews will start the ball rolling and prepare the area for the project. After notifying the affected residents, the crew will assemble the new section of pipe and disinfect and pressure test. This process takes a couple of days. In the meantime, they'll dig access pits at both ends of the section of pipe they will be replacing. One to place the pipe bursting machine in, and the other to feed the new pipe through. On the day of the actual replacement, the crew will temporarily disconnect the service to the main line and cut the pipe in both pits they have previously dug. The machine's lowered into its pit, and threaded steel rods are connected together and fed through the existing pipe. Once the rods have made it to the other end, they're connected to a cutting head that has been attached to the new pipe. After everything's secured, the new pipe's pulled back toward the machine as it breaks the old pipe out of its way. Now that the new pipe's been installed, it needs to be tied into the main line and placed back into service. After the machine's removed from its pit, the crew will connect the new pipe to the existing and make any service line taps that were previously connected to the main line. They may install a new fire hydrant or two depending on the area and the location of the nearby hydrants. At this point, there's not much left to do. The access pits are backfilled and the dirt compacted to our standards, and any grass disrupted in the process is replaced. Now, we've just replaced about 500 feet of old mainline pipe. Normally this process would take quite a bit longer and require several days of cleanup to return the area to normal. Through the use of trenchless technology, the time and money spent on this project is greatly reduced, and there is far less disruption to the project area and our community.
Where Your Money Goes.
Well, we know that the library and the parks department are your favorites, along with the fire and police and others. But you've been less than complimentary about the dry and boring nature of our consistently exceptional monthly financial reports.
Okay, for the record, I love the financial department. Okay? But these guys do a great job. I mean, they really do. I mean, you've got a first-class staff there. You know, you win award after award after award, and it's not necessarily the fun part of the business.
No.
But at the end of the day, it's a very important part. And we've done a great job being transparent. And our financial director, Alan Gard, is going to tell us a little bit more
about the debt service fund. And you know, you and I joke about how dry and boring it is, which is good, that month after month we're consistently doing a good job managing the public's money in an open and transparent way. And so Alan wants to use this segment as an opportunity to educate people on various accounts that the city maintains. And so the debt service fund accounts for revenue and expenditures related to paying the city's long-term debt. And as always, if you're interested in reading the full detailed report, it's always available online at rowlett.com.
Take it away, Alan.
Hello, I am Alan Gard, the Director of Financial and Information Services for the City of Rowlett, and welcome to this month's update of the City of Rowlett's monthly financial report. This report is provided as one element in the city's effort to ensure financial transparency for its citizens and policymakers. The Finance Department prepares the report and presents it to the City Council at a regular City Council meeting each month. While the presentation made at the Council meeting usually provides a high-level overview, the report itself is very detailed, providing information on each of the city's funds, key local, state, and national economic indicators, and a dashboard information about the city's primary operating funds, major revenue sources, and overall fund performance. This report is prepared in a way as to provide financially relevant information that is easy to read and understand. Staff uses a forecasting model based on historical data in order to provide a framework for comparing projected performance to actual performance. The purpose of this effort is twofold. First, the report informs the City Council and public regarding the status of the city's financial position. In other words, where are we versus where do we project we would be at this time of the fiscal year? Second, this report informs the staff and the City Council about significant variances in projected versus actual revenues and expenditures. This allows the City Council to monitor the city's financial position and make adjustments as needed. This report also provides a context for making decisions appropriately for future budgets. You could say that this report serves as an early warning system. The report provided to Council in April includes financial information through February. We are now 5 months through our fiscal year, and on the revenue side of the equation, overall the city has earned or received $44.1 million for all funds in fiscal year 2013. This amount is 55.3% of the approved operating budget of $79.6 million and is 1.9% higher than the forecast projected through the month of February. Expenditures have totaled $33.1 million for fiscal year 2013. This amount is 41.6% of the approved operating budget of $79.6 million and is 1.6% lower than forecast through the 5th month of the fiscal year. Based on these figures, the net surplus from operations is $11 million. This is $1.4 million better than expected at this point in the year. The figures for February continue to project a positive trend for this fiscal year. This month we want to highlight the Debt Service Fund. The Debt Service Fund accounts for revenues and expenditures related to paying the city's long-term debt. The city takes on debt in a similar way a homeowner takes on a mortgage. The debt is used to pay for long-term capital projects and assets, such as streets, buildings, and parks. The primary source of revenue for this fund is property taxes, funded by a little more than 1/3 of the total city tax levy. It's about 26 cents of the 75-cent tax levy. Total revenue projected for this fund is $8.6 million, and expenditures are budgeted at $8.6 million. This is approximately $337,000 less than in fiscal year 2012 and is due to lower principal and interest payments due to a decline in scheduled principal and interest payments and to 2 bond refundings that the city has done. If you would like to view the entire report, please go to www.rowlett.com. And if you have any questions, please contact me, Alan Gard, the Director of Financial and Information Services, at agard@rowlett.com or 972-412-6288.
My name is Chris Winesapple, Rowlett Fire Rescue firefighter paramedic, and we are at fire station number 1 on Miller Road, one of the newest fire stations for the city of Rowlett. Whenever the tones actually go off, this is where actually everything starts to happen. This is where the apparatus obviously sits, is maintained, and then where gear is stored for day in, day out use. We have several members of our department that have served active duty during our most recent times of conflict, actually being deployed to Iraq. And one of the difficult things while they're being deployed and their families obviously are needing support here, as a fire department, we've been able to be that support while they were gone, and then also pick up where they were unable to be here and do their job, so that they were actually able to go over and serve and actually do the job overseas while we did the job here at home. And when you think about it and you talk to these individuals, that's one of their biggest concerns is how they're going to be supported, and to know that they can not only serve our country without fear of anything at home, because it's taken care of, because the city of Rowlett obviously supports them and then their family here within the fire department, as well as the police department support those guys by taking care of their families if they should need anything. It is truly a family-oriented, family-center driven department, and we're there for each other. Even when they're not here, we've got their back.
Hi, this is Diana Diaz, Economic Development Specialist for the city. On today's episode, we're talking about numbers and our progress in the last second quarter. It is very important to track numbers of jobs, new businesses, estimated new and existing investment in order to measure our results. Economic development is just not about numbers. It's about making the necessary connections with the business community to help them grow in our economy. I really enjoy helping entrepreneurs find the necessary resources to grow their business. bring more customers, and increase our local economy. New businesses mean new jobs and a strong local economy. For this quarter, we had 19 new businesses in Rowlett, which included Mattress Shop, Beauty Nails, Rusty by Design, Leslie's Pool Mart, Milano's Pizza and Pasta, and others. For the fiscal year, we have a total of 33 new businesses. These new businesses created a total of 66 jobs, and adding the rest of the fiscal year, we have a total of 147 jobs in the city. Great news for our local workforce. A total of 26 business permits were issued in March, together with 11 building inspections. As part of our strategic partnership efforts, we attended several Chamber of Commerce ribbon cuttings and events. This included Dave Spooner Photography, Standard Pacific Homes, Make a Connection, Chamber Awards Gala, and State of the Community Luncheon. We also hosted the Retail Connection Roundtable to talk about sign code requirements and grant opportunities with the Rowlett Chamber Foundation. The business community was pleased with our presentation and requested another roundtable to discuss possible opportunities to do with the city. A great program to meet our business community is the Business Retention and Expansion Initiative. The program targets visiting 100 companies each year to communicate with and assist on city-related issues. It also aims to build a strong partnership with the Rowlett Chamber of Commerce and the Economic Development Advisory Board on initiatives that foster working with the local business community. We visited 23 businesses, which included Ryan Insurance, Worldwide Digital Press, Flory Automotive, Wing Area Products, Lupco, Sears, ACA Contractors, Cleaning Solutions, National Model Bank, Datatronic Control, and others. One example of a local business is Datatronic Control, located at 5130 Dexham Road. DCI has been in Rowlett for over 43 years and offers digital equipment to customers around the globe. It provides any configuration, size, and resolution needed. DCI currently creates 25 full-time jobs and is currently looking to expand their facilities to accommodate future customer orders. I hope you find our information useful, and please share with your family, friends, and anyone interested in Rowlett. Let's all work together to make Rowlett a better place and find unique businesses that will create a sense of place. See you next time.
Well, as we always talk about in every show, every month, there's always a lot going on. And this month, once again, we've got a lot going on in May. You know, we've got council and P&Z meetings in May.
Yes, our council meetings are Tuesday, May 7th and Tuesday, May 21st. Our planning and zoning meetings are Tuesday, May 14th and Tuesday, May 28th. All meetings are broadcast live on both RTN 16 and online through the live streaming video page on Rowlett.com. And you can also watch previous meetings on Rowlett.com at any time.
And our Wet Zone Water Park opens on May 18th. You can sign up for classes and get your season passes now by going to www.wetzonewaterpark.com.
And as you mentioned, our Memorial Day celebration featuring our Touch a Truck is going to be Saturday, May 25th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be located at 4000 Main Street at the City of Rowlett Library Lawn, and the Memorial Day recognition program will be at the gazebo located in Veterans Park on the east side of the library.
And right after that in July, we've got our Fireworks on Main event. That's on Thursday, July 4th, 2013 from 5 to 10 p.m. And we have a special guest, Mary Wilson from the Supremes.
You gonna do it?
Baby love.
That's it. Can't do this without the baby love.
I need some help here. Believe me, they won't be getting me up there to sing. But she is going to be here live. We're really looking forward to that. It should be just a terrific, terrific time. And it's a free concert and fireworks show. Every year it gets better and better and better. And I think this year will be no exception.
Thousands of people will be heading to Main Street to listen to the live music, fill up on festival treats, visit local business booths, and celebrate Independence Day with Rowlett's largest fireworks extravaganza. This community event offers something for the entire family. If you've got folks that will be visiting Rowlett, encourage them to take the DART train. If they don't live in the city, fireworks will start at approximately 9:20 p.m. and it should be an awesome time for all.
I'm looking forward to it. And of course, fireworks begin, he said, at 9:20.
Yes.
I can't wait. So in closing, boy, it's been a long show, hasn't it?
It has, but we've had a lot of fun and exciting and good opportunities for the city. We have more this month
than we've talked about in a long time, and we always have a lot going on, but this month was really exceptional. And we really hope that you've enjoyed the show. You know, thanks to you and all of you that have stayed tuned or that have tuned in today's program and that really want to stay in touch with your government. Thank you very much. You know, without your viewership, we wouldn't have such a great program. And so do you have an idea or suggestion for the show? You can call or email us. We'd love to hear your feedback. You know, we take the feedback and we'll certainly consider to add it to the show as well. But thanks to our communications staff, Drew Rist and Denise Perrin, who assisted in today's broadcast. So until next time, Linda, thanks for watching the May edition of Rowlett on the Water.